Hi, my name's Shannon Rourke from Civil Survey Solutions. In this webcast we're going to look at options to share data between Advanced Road Design and Infraworks. You can see here a model in Advanced Road Design. What we're going to do is to create a civil 3D surface for that model, and after that what we'll do is to create some areas of different rendering that we want to go off to Infraworks. So the process we're going to use is to actually create 3D faces of each material type across our site. So we're now exporting out 3D faces from the model, and we'll use this and the layer discrimination it creates for the different materials to actually get out some areas. This is one technique to actually create coverage areas back into Infraworks, and that's going to give us the quality of presentation we're looking for. So the 3D face export will actually export out onto different layers based on materials, and you get to control that. So there is a file where you can set up code pairs and what materials should output from that. What we're doing now is going through a process of taking each material, we're starting with the asphalt, and converting it into an outline polyline. So the first thing we do is to flatten the 3D faces, and then we create regions around those 3D faces. And the ultimate goal here is that we'll create a looped region that goes around the extents of those 3D faces. We then go through a process of converting that outline region into a polyline, and it's simply a explode, polyline edit, and a join. So that's what's happening now. This is one technique to get outlines from Advanced Road Design. Another technique would be to output the 2D polylines of the features and then join those together. So once the polyline's created, all we really need to do is to export it out into a format suitable for import into Infraworks, and one method is to export out to the Autodesk SDF file. Creating SDF files is a great technique to move data to Infraworks, so you can move outlines for buildings, linear features for roads, and other features such as light poles and city furniture across using SDF. The final phase of this is to create an Autodesk IMX file, and this is the best technique for exporting out alignments if you need them and surfaces. So in Infraworks we already have some of the existing features, but we're now going to add the design surface. So we bring in that IMX file, and inside that IMX file we select that we want to bring in the surface data, and every time you bring in data into Infraworks you need to configure it, and you just need to double click on the source, and what we're going to do is now tell the IMX file exactly what we want out of that stream of data. So we only want the design surface. As soon as we add that and configure it in, Infraworks will now show us the full terrain model of the design. So you can see if you look at the shape of the land, it's been adjusted. It's very clear that there is curb and pavement and footpath and batters or daylights in the system. What we're going to do now is to go through that process of rendering out our ARD design on top, and we've done that by adding the SDF file. And what you do is you convert each SDF file into a coverage area, and the idea here is that you apply a material that suits that type of area. So this is pavement, so we're going to hop in and assign a pavement material to that area. So you'll now see that the asphalt has been rendered onto the correct area, and what we do now is we move back to the model and we'll repeat that process for the other materials. So what we're going to do now is to isolate the kerb, and we're going to convert that into a series of closed polylines for the different parts of the kerb. So once that file is outputted, same process back in Infraworks, we grab that SDF file, convert it into a coverage area, and assign the material that we'd like to have. Once the coverage area is added, if it's not displaying, simply change the layer order in terms of display of coverage areas, and you'll see the material show. Now this same process is repeated for the different materials. So what you can see now is that the full advanced road design model has now been moved across into Infraworks, and you can now from here create still shots, check shadow casting, and also create animations via the storyboard tools inside of Infraworks. And we're going to run a storyboard now just so you can see a visualization down through this design. That visualization can very easily be exported out to AVI and otherwise shared with your stakeholders.